Anxiety is the absence of control. If you want to feel more in control over things, then focus on what is actually in your control and what isn't. Hi, I'm Vann. I'm a licensed professional counselor supervisor, and this is a follow-up to the previous video about control in the workplace. Our focus is on psychology in the business world and how you can help your bottom line by motivating your employees, your staff, and saving tons of money on things such as short-term disability claims or poor customer service that then cost you that money when you have dissatisfied customers. So to continue with our discussion about control, it's so easy to let our anxiety overtake us, and that leads to us wanting to micromanage our staff, to focus in on all these little things that we think we can control, but in reality we really don't have control. And the more we try to control things, the more out of control things become. Now, yesterday, towards the end of the video, we talked about some tips, things that you can do to better motivate your employees, your staff, so that they don't feel as micromanaged. And one of the tips was, I said, ask, don't tell. This is part of common courtesy. It's a respect issue. And employees that feel respected are more likely to listen and are more likely to want to do their job, to do the right thing. So when I say ask, don't tell, ask is a request. Now, you can be assertive and you can say, yes, you do need to do this, but you need to use the correct verbiage. And an example is that, would you please get this whatever task done by this time? See, it's a question, but it's also a understood, this is a requirement, but I'd rather ask you to do it versus tell you. It's a subtle difference, but it can make a difference. So, would you please, or I would really appreciate it if you could do such and such task by this time because there is a deadline for it. And with that goes along your tone. Be aware of your tone. If you're already upset about, say, a previous meeting, don't take that out on your employee because they didn't do anything, and that's not really fair. How would you like it if someone took out their emotions about some other topic, some other situations, and they took it out on you? You wouldn't appreciate it, would you? So be cognizant of your mood and pay attention to how you are saying things. So there's what we call aggressive versus assertive communication. And aggressive is going to be where it's really tense, maybe it's really gruff, maybe there's even a tightening of the facial muscles. It's going to be very stern in nature. And it's just that vibe that you put out there of, I'm in a bad mood, I'm upset. Well, that's not really going to help your employee, one, feel inspired to help you. It might scare them. It might create some anxiety, and that's not helpful. Or it might cause even some resentment of, why do they keep picking on me? Why is it they always treat me this way? I feel like the punching bag for when something goes wrong in their world, they take it out on me. Again, that's not really helpful. So just be aware of that tone that you're using. You can be firm, you can be assertive, but you can use a voice much like this. Another part is I talked about don't hover like a bird over your staff desk. So your staff members, they don't want you hovering around the cubicles or their desk, just looking for something that's wrong. Again, that can create some anxiety, which then is going to inhibit productivity. And again, you wouldn't appreciate that because think of how that comes across. Doesn't that come across as, I don't trust you? But it's also back to that respect part too. The fourth tip we discussed is ask for feedback. Businesses that actually listen to their employees, the ones that are actively doing these tasks every day, that can see what the pros are, what the cons are, things that could be tweaked, things that can be improved, they have input. Ask them. It only benefits the company to get that insight. It's valuable insight. And maybe sometimes they don't have any feedback and they go, you know what, it's all good. This is working well. That's still such valuable information because you know you're on the right track. And then finally, make sure to give them some room to be creative. Allow some brainstorming, and this is part of that feedback. But maybe you can set aside some time to say, you know what, once a week or once every 2 weeks, maybe right before a meeting, let's just spend some time brainstorming. Is there anything we could be doing better? Is there anything that we can change up? Do you see things going on social media that maybe we can employ in our work world? That's how you beat your competition, is you have a happy staff, a productive staff, one that feels respected, trusted. You listen to them. You look at ways to implement good ideas. You're aware of what your competition is doing, what companies are doing right and what they're doing wrong. It's all about communication. So these are just some quick tips about how to help your bottom line stay healthy in the business world by focusing on some of the psychology of business. I'm Lori Vann, and you can reach me at lori@lorivann.com or check out some of my talks on lorivannspeaking.com. Thank you.